Jackie and family for the word, allowing me to be part of this service to honor Brother Gary, as I call him, Dr. Farley. Back in 2012, I had been used to going to the association office with WMU work, because I was WMU director, I think, about that time for Carrollton Baptist, and going in and out, so I was very well acquainted with Dr. Farley. And something came up about he was looking for an assistant in the office. And he said, why don't you just put your recommendation, your application in? And I said, well, I don't really know. But I had often thought of that job as being a very good place of ministry. And so I did, and he asked me to start at the office. Now, when I started at the office, he was already well into prison work. In 2004, I believe it was, Brother Gary had led the association into doing North American mission work. Then in 2005, he had expanded that to international mission work. In 2008, when he heard that the prison was coming to Pickens County, he became very, very active. His mind was already working on the prison long before the prison came. And I know if his mind were working on it, he was spending much time in prayer. Amen. I like to just look at this, and it's very difficult to try to put in all these years in just 5 minutes. But I will do the very best I can to do that. But I thought that we might look at it this way with 5 different things. He had a call from God in ministry. We were aware of that when we asked him to come to Pickens Baptist Association as our director of missions. So we knew he had a call from God. And then we knew that he saw the prison as a way of doing missions, especially here in our rural county, and with the makeup of the residents in the prison and the interest that had already been established in our association for doing mission work. He was prepared to do this ministry. He had a very varied background. We haven't really talked about that, and I don't really know exactly all of that, but I know he said he had taught at college level for 19 years, and in the Home Mission Board he did J-term, and he did extension courses, as Brother Burt and Brother Terry have alluded to here at the association with our churches and with our things, and extension courses in 9 different seminaries or divinity schools. He set out to prepare the people and the churches in our association, and with inviting in other local groups. As Brother Bob said, he was already establishing fingers out and all in the community and those around it to be part of this. His way to me was saying, how may we help you? And I saw this over and over again in the office. And then, as already has been said, he was a uniter, uniting people to carry the gospel message. He brought together people and resources to begin to establish a very unusual ministry here at the prison. Warden Bradley, we're so glad you're here. We had such a wonderful time with Warden Adushi, and she was so helpful and excited about all of these things. And it's just been a great pleasure to work with all of you down there, and the ladies over at the camp and the ladies over at LCI. As I went through all the material I had, I thought, we need somebody to write a book. We've got enough material to publish a book. I've got book writing on my mind, so that was back in my mind. But Brother Gary had a strong desire to help us, to help them to become valuable citizens when they were able to be released from prison and go back out on the street, as we might say. He often said this mission field down at Aliceville was one of the greatest missions fields in existence at that time for taking the gospel out to the world. Because not only did they have Alabamians there, but they had people from all over the United States They had people from foreign countries, and when Aliceville got the people, the INS and the ICE prisoners from Connecticut, when that prison was changed and they came to Pickens County, we had all sorts of people. We had a high population of Hispanic people, and that was one of Brother Gary's high concerns, that what we were taking in be also available for those who were Hispanic, that spoke another language. I had several things here I wanted to mention, and then I got to be looking at some newspaper articles, and oh dear me, we could be here all afternoon, but I won't do that. But I was looking at an article that came out of the Alabama Baptist in September of 2013, and Neil Embry had interviewed Brother Gary for Prison Ministry Bears Fruit in Pickens County. And this we heard over and over from Brother Farley. When most people see a prison, they see one of three things. They see danger because of the people there. They may see a dollar sign, a place for political leaders to make money for the community. But we see a cross. That was Brother Gary's thought. And that's the thought that he conveyed to us as people in the association. And we had volunteers. Talking about volunteers, he created the 100 Godly Women. That was his organization. This started back about 2009 or 10. And he was putting out the information, asking women to make application. We needed all these women trained to go into the prison when the prison came. And he wanted all that to be in place at that time. And we later had to rename that to 100 Godly Women and Friends, because we had a lot of men working with us. And we had over 200 when it sort of was absorbed into the ministries themselves. So we were not still operating as the 100 Godly Women. We were out in the different projects. But going back to this newspaper article, he was talking about, and this Neil Embry was interviewing him, and he said the warden and chaplain have been very supportive. We've been given an opportunity here. The volunteers and workers at the churches have got start Bible studies, worship teams, drama teams. There are 2 worship Sundays on Sunday afternoons, Brother Bob was talking about, and evening. And the leaders are currently looking into providing education for the women through Beeson Divinity School. One of the things that has really been a big hit, I think you ladies, some of you have been in the Sanford Ministry Training Institute. That has gone over very, very well. Our churches work together through the association and other contributions from individuals to provide the books for all of those Sanford Ministry training classes. Brother Gary said up front it's going to take $8,000 and $9,000, so we need to start to work on it. We still have 2 churches in our association that are making regularly monthly payments, not on the books, but just putting it in a bank so it can be used when we need it. And we're going to be having some places where we can use that coming up in the future. Our quilters that Brother Gary was so proud of are set to start back again, and we provided material for them. And then the sewing class that they had, we provided material for that, and they made quilts. But the crochet class, they did a lot of crocheting and making animals to give away. But going on with this article here, he said, working in prison ministry has its challenges. Bart and his team usually have only an hour or so with the women at the camp. The guards count inmates every hour, and there isn't much time for pastoral care, Farley said. However, he said it has its upsides too. And this was something he often said. We don't have any old man that says we've never done it that way before. Always using that phrase. And then he said there isn't a competition on who has the prettiest dress on today. So he said there were some things we could be thankful for. Realizing that most of these women will be out of prison at some point, the churches have embraced a long-term vision that reaches beyond the prison walls. Our goal in worship and Bible study is to prepare the ladies to be missionaries when they leave. And already they have had women to go out internationally, and we know many in the States here. But I wanted to share with you this right here. Quickly, some of the things that programs, I wouldn't want to call them projects because they were not projects, they were programs. Or that was the 100 Godly Women, and then the Own Mission celebration that he had in Pickens Baptist Association. Janet probably worked on this in 2010, where we had 5 chaplains invited in to teach our people how to do prison ministry. Brother Gary provided the training for us. And, I've been thinking, since I've been looking at this, maybe we could get a degree from Sanford for all of us, those hours that we put in training. I don't know about that, but maybe we might be able to do that. But Rubies for Life, something that has been a tremendous reward for the ladies, the residents, but also from the women on the outside who were going in. Buddy Kirk was just saying outside there that Emily had really missed this being able to go in on Monday nights with Rubies for Life. And another thing that brings up that I had not mentioned, and I did mention briefly there that Brother Gary was concerned about Hispanic speakers. One time they said 70%, and then another time what I had said 50%, but lots of Hispanic ladies at the prison. And he wrote letters. I typed them and sent them off, trying to get a chaplain at the prison who spoke Spanish that would be there. Well, we didn't get chaplain that spoke Spanish, but we did get a good chaplain sitting right over here. And also chaplain Floyd, that's down there too. Brother Gary had not forgotten the Spanish people. And then along comes our director of missions now, Brother Lyle Dees and his wife Claren, and they both are fluent in Spanish. So Brother Gary's prayers are still being answered down there. And we had some Mennonite missionaries who had come back over to East Mississippi that had been in Spanish-speaking countries for a good while. And they worked for a while, but that didn't work out. But then we had Brother Rick Williams, the pastor then at Utah Baptist Church, and he has been holding Spanish worship services on Thursday since then. And they had a great ministry there, and it seems like it has gone so well. The Threshold class, now that was a new federal program after Warden Adushi came, and she spoke to us about getting, when I say us, I don't know if she told Brother Gary or she told me or he told me or just how it went. But anyway, she asked us to get that started in Aliceville. And we got the material and we called in some ladies and they looked at it, and we got 4 ladies. 3 of them were not members of the Baptist Church, Methodist, Presbyterian, and Episcopal or something like that, and then the other one was one of our Baptist ladies. But they started the Threshold ministry down there and had a very successful ministry. Then when Chaplain Floyd came in, that was one of the things that she was very interested in doing. So we no longer help with that, but we have some people who could help with that. Strategies for Success was another program that went over very well. This was headed by Sharon Denham from Birmingham, and we had a number of volunteers who came down from Birmingham quite regularly to do that. Kairos, which we were talking about, that's down there today, even finishing up the weekend. That's been such a wonderful thing. Now, Warden Adushi said to us, we want Kairos, because she was very familiar with Kairos in the prison where she had come from in California, so we worked on that. Then Brother Gary, and when I say we worked on it, we assisted them. They have their own operation, and they didn't need our help really, except locally. We helped in the first part of it. We helped to find some places for them to stay overnight and things like that, where they could meet together. But then the quilting thing by the Mennonite ladies that I've mentioned was a great lesson to the folks. Angel Tree Ministry. Mary Kay Beard came and spoke to us. I don't know if you're familiar with Mary Kay Beard or not, but she was the founder of Angel Tree. She lived in Birmingham, and she came down and had a conference at Brother James White's church for us, and we met there. And then the Sanford Ministry training class began with Brother Gary contacting Dr. Kevin Blackwell at Sanford in August of 2014. Brother Gary thought that if the residents were to successfully re-enter in society and could connect with the local church and contribute to its work and not be a burden, their successful re-entry would be much more likely. Sanford waived the tuition, and the professors were ministers from our area who had graduated from seminary. Brother Gary said, how can we help you? And that was one of the main things with the Hispanic. And he was concerned about how to share with them. And there was something right here that I wanted. Brother Gary enjoyed those worship services. 3 of us went in Sunday, December the 23rd, after the first residents arrived at the camp on Wednesday. We went in on Sunday. Brother Bob and his team members went in on Christmas Day and brought the Christmas message. But Brother Gary said it was so, he said, and these are his words, also it's good for my soul to be applauded by the congregation when I arrive at the place of meeting. And that's basically what they did. They were very, very glad always to see him. Now, we're not through with work at the prison. Lord willing, there's still work that we want done, and we ask for your prayers. One of those things is that Brother Gary would like very much to have had an overnight stopping place for families as they would come to visit their relatives there. So there might be a possibility of that, but we sure need prayer and a lot of help getting that put together. And Lord, Brady, I hope I'm back out there on the field again full soon. Thank you all.